I got carried away in the last one, and I didn't realize how fast the time had run by. But I wanted to continue with you on this because it's important that we recognize our ancestors and our elders because theirs is the way of life. Theirs is the trail of success, which success is a small word attached or within a word called succession. For there to be legacy, there must be succession. To have success, you have to understand how to get rid of and walk away from deception. For people to take control over things, they want divination. They want you, who has the power of life on the inside of you with the kingdom of God, to bastardize what God is giving you. In other words, they want you to walk away what God is giving you and use it for their benefit. In Numbers chapter 24, we're talking about that with Balak, who is asking his family members, because they're both from the tribe of Lot. They both know the stories of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Balaam seems to have had more value in the stories of the ancestors. Balak did not. Balak just wanted power. He wanted control. Numbers chapter 24, verse 10, and Balak's anger was kindled against Balaam because he didn't curse Israel. And Balaam was like, yeah, this ain't about cursing Israel. You need to recognize what God is doing. The power to do so is not for me to do. I can only speak the words that God has given me. I'm not in control. Balak thought he was in control. He himself. You're only playing the role that God is giving you. You really are. I'm only where I'm at because God has given me the eyesight to be where I'm at. I would hope to be somewhere else. And I hope to be before my days end on this earth in this form. But as it stands, I am only who I am. And I am only who God has called me to be. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. He is the ruler of all. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness the fullness thereof. It all belongs to Him and Him alone. In Numbers chapter 17, what God is saying to everyone, I know we're in Numbers chapter 24, but it's very important, I think, that you understand that when your eyes are open and there's a messenger out of Jacob, and right now we're talking about a scepter that shall rise out of Israel. It's important that you understand what the scepter is. There's more to talk about, but I'm going to skip over some things. I'm I'm going to skip over the children of Seth. Even though I really want to talk about it. But I'm going to ask you to go back into Genesis chapter 6. You may be able to pick up on it when he's talking about smiting the corners of Moab and destroying the children of Seth. We're going to skip over that. We're going to skip over that. Because, again, I want to keep moving forward. And I would love to explore every angle of the prism. But we want to move forward. So we're just going to talk about the scepter in Numbers chapter 24, verse 17, verse 17. The scepter was chosen by God. The scepter is a rod. The rod budded to show the chosen rod. This happened before Numbers 24 and Numbers 17. And thou shalt lay them up in the tabernacle of the congregation. This is the rods of the children of Israel, which were 12, and the rod of Levi, which was not numbered with the 12. And it shall come to pass, verse 5, the man's rod, whom I shall choose, shall blossom. And I will make to cease from me the murmurings of the children of Israel, whereby they murmur against you. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel, and every one of their princes gave him a rod apiece, for each prince one. This is in verse 6. According to their father's house, 12 rods. He called them 12 rods. And the rod of Aaron. That would be the 13th rod. The 13th tribe. Today, we have many people who fight over who are the 13th tribe. Things haven't changed much. But God chooses the 13th tribe. And Moses laid up the rods before the Lord in the tabernacle of witness. And it came to pass that on the morrow, next day, Moses went into the tabernacle of witness, and behold, the rod of Aaron for the house of Levi was budded. It was chosen. Now, it may seem a simple thing to you, but it's not a simple thing today when you're fighting against the deception. These are the secrets. Why are these the secrets? Because the information contained in the lineage guarantees succession. And the fight or the battle is for the succession. As though Balak, hear me now, Balak, whether he fights for it or doesn't fight for it, can have it. It can never be had if the people you're fighting understand their history. If you don't understand your history, then you will always just be in the midst of an argument, getting nowhere. Losing. Wasting time. But when you understand your history, when you understand the ancestors, and okay, what does that mean? Because if you understand that Aaron's rod budded, and there was a reason for that, because the laws of success were with Levi through the hand of Moses. In other words, how to conquer Canaan. What is your Canaan? You will find it in the hand of Moses, under the scepter of Levi. What is your Canaan? Is it to run for office? Is it to have a successful family? Is it to have a successful business? Is it to be successful in your community? Is it to be successful in your finances? Is it to be successful with your friendships? Is it to be successful in your body? Is it to be successful in your mind? Is it to be successful in your spirit? Is it to have wisdom? Is it to give wisdom to your children? Whatever it is. Whatever it is. Whatever success you're interested in. It's in the elements of these prophecies. It all ties together. This does not take power from Jesus. It consolidates power under Jesus. For you New Testament believers, for which I am one. I've just been studying the Old Testament for a long, long time. And it's because, to be honest with you, it's because of my insecurity. Because I would read the New Testament years ago when I was in my 20s and 30s, and I didn't understand what they were saying. So I ran to the Old Testament because somebody told me in the Christian church that I was that the Old Testament was Jesus concealed, and the New Testament was him revealed. So I said, well, let me check out the concealed one. Because I don't understand the revealed one. I really didn't. It wasn't that simple to me. I didn't understand how people could be so negative towards other people seeking him out in their imperfection. And why they did it. I didn't understand why I was treated the way I was treated, and I was a child in the Word. I didn't understand it until I grew and read the Old Testament. Now I get it. I understand now. I understand most of them, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do, is a real thing. Very real thing. Numbers 24, verse 17, we'll finish with this. I shall see him, but not now. Shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob. I hope I've explained that okay. A messenger out of Jacob, the man. A scepter, a ruler out of Israel. And of course it's Jesus, but again it has its own, before you get to Jesus, it has real-time implications even in our world today. And in the world before Jesus. And shall smite the corners of Moab and destroy the children of Seth. I'm going to read this, and I don't want, because I don't want to offend any of the tribes, but I think it's important to understand what God is saying. Verse 18, and Edom shall be a possession, sire also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. We'll talk about that next time. But it's important to understand that a scepter is a branch, And the scepter has many purposes. For the purpose of punishment, writing, fighting, ruling, walking. The scepter represents a clan that is built for correction. Also means, in my opinion, there's a lot of responsibility as well. And it can sometimes be painful. CashApp $MrPaulDozier. We're on a journey from Genesis to Revelation. I do not know how long it's going to take. It's going to take a while. But I thank you for coming on the journey with us.